Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do something different. Over the weekend I created a TBR jar. If you don't know what a TBR jar or TBR stands for, is to be read. And I have seen these videos for a while here on YouTube, and I've always thought it was fun, you know, like how some readers create like these games and all that stuff. But honestly, for me, if I overcomplicate it from the beginning, I'm probably not going to stick to it. So I decided to just keep enjoying those videos, like watching those videos and stuff like that, and create a very simple version for myself, so that I know that I can stick to it. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to share. I shared it on my Instagram on Reels. I'll see if I can share like that reel on here. I don't know. If you see it, I figured it out. If I don't pop it on here, that means I did not figure it out. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, so I did create, so what I don't show in the reel is that I actually have a list of, I have an Excel sheet of all the books that I own. And on there I put, like, once they're read, I put read, and if I haven't read them, they're unread. So what I ended up doing was I printed out that Excel sheet, like I filtered it through unread, and I just printed out the Excel sheet on different colored paper, actually. So I'll just show you the end product. It's here. It's, as you can tell, it's on different colored paper, and I had so much fun making this. So I printed them out. I just cut the strips and all that, and I spent a whole afternoon making origami stars. Yeah, I did not know how to make these stars, let me tell you. I watched a YouTube video and I learned how to make them. I will say though that the printer paper that I used is way thicker than origami paper, so it actually ended up hurting. My thumb was bruised by the end of the night. Like the next morning my husband was like, "Why is your thumb bruised?" And I'm like, "I was making stars." So yeah, they're here. I don't regret it at all. I took an old spaghetti jar that I had, and I made a TBR jar. It's really simple. You don't have to make origami stars if you don't want to. They take they're time consuming, and if you do it with thicker paper, it hurts. So just FYI. But yeah, I made it. I'm so excited. I'm so happy with it. I actually really love it. Like, I love how it looks. I think I'm also gonna end up doing like a jar with like wish list books. And I think this is like my idea, right? Like, I'll probably end up sharing if I do it or not, like later, but this is my idea. Hear me out. It is the same jar, or not the same jar, but like a jar. And anytime I want to purchase a book, instead of buying the book right away, I will put them in a jar. I don't think that one will be origami stars, if I'm being honest. Yeah, no, it's probably just gonna be like little squares. And I'm going to, every time, you know, I want to go to the bookstore or things like that, I'll pick out like one or two, and then those are the books I'll buy. I don't know, it's just the thought. I think it's a good idea, but we'll see. Yeah, and then that way, if my husband wants to ever surprise me, there's a place he can go. I'll just make sure he knows which jar it is, And then he can surprise me with books too, because that's like his thing, is he never knows what books to get me because he doesn't know if I already have it or not. So yeah. And then he also doesn't really know what books I want. Yeah. So anyways, just a thought. But yeah, so here is my TBR jar. And for the month of February, it is February 6th today. And I am going to be picking my TBR jar, my TBRs, or yeah, I'm gonna be picking 4 stars out of this jar, and then those are the books I'm gonna hopefully be reading for February. I say hopefully because I am a very much mood reader, so this is like the main reason why I've also hesitated to make a TBR jar or anything like that, is because I am a mood reader. So wherever the wind blows, that's what I like to read. So I'm gonna try it. I might get 5, and then that way it gives me a little bit of leeway. Some people I've seen with TBR jars, they do prompts and then they pick books that are like for that prompt. Again, for me, it has to be simple if I'm going to try and stick to something. So I just printed out my unread books and put them all in here. Another rule I want to make for myself is if I don't want to read it, it's okay to put it back and pick something else, because yeah, again, big mood reader here. And yeah, I just want to make it as fun and accessible to myself as I possibly can. Also, I do want to say that I am reading right now Dark Matter. I don't know the percentage, but I'm on page 132 as of right now. So I'm going to be finishing this first, and then that's when I'm going to actually start reading whatever I pick from here. Dark Matter actually is in here, so if I ever pick it out, I'm just gonna toss it because I'm pretty much gonna be finishing this probably today. Oh, and like another thing I wanted to, like another like little rule guideline I'd like to give myself is that if I don't want to read the book, like if I pick a book and then now I realize I don't really want to read that book and I actually want to like unhaul it, it's fine. I can do that too. So yeah. And then if worst case scenario, there's nothing on the TBR pile I want to read next, I'm just going to pick a book out of my library and read it. So yeah. Anyways, that's like the gist of, this. So I'm nervous. Let's pick out some books. I have no idea what, they're not color coordinated. So like a color doesn't mean like anything. I just printed them out as Excel created them. So shake it up. I'm actually very nervous because what if I don't want to read the book that I pick out? But whatever. Okay. Moment of truth. Okay. I said I was going to pick out 4. So here's a handful of them. I'm so nervous. Since there's only one pink one, I'm going to pick the pink one, this orange one, and I said 4. I'm probably going to do 5 just to be safe. Guys, I want to cry. Why does it always happen to me in the middle of a video? My freaking battery dies. It's okay. It's alright. I'm gonna set it up so I can charge it. But anyways, I put the stars on the ground. Now they have fur all over them. So here are the 2 I had chosen, the pink and the orange. And then here is what was in my hand originally. But now there's like fur because I put them on this rug that one of my dogs considers her day bed. So yeah, Okay, so the ones I had, and then I'm gonna pick a purple one just because there's two, and then I'm gonna do a green one, but I'm nervous. I'm gonna do this green one, and then for the sake of having an extra, just in case I don't want to read one of these, I'm gonna pick this one. So I have my 5 picks. I'm gonna put the rest back in. I'm so nervous. Okay, let's see what I got. Okay, so I have 5 here. So here's 1, 2. Are they gonna focus? There, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so let's start with the pink one, just because pink is my favorite color. How do you open these? Okay, here we go. Oh no, what did I get? Hang on. It's actually pretty hard. Let me put the other ones down. It's actually pretty hard. I did not think this through. To get that last, like, knot out. And that's where the book title is. So I can't rip it and I can't ignore it. There we go. I got it. Okay. Okay. I've had this book for a while. Okay. It is, I don't know if you can, I'm just going to read them. It is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. There we go. So I put the title and then the author. Not that my bookshelves are alphabetical yet, but yeah. The purple. Okay, this one's gonna be interesting because, okay, it is Pearl by Tabitha King, so Stephen King's wife. However, I know that her books are in order, and again, I just put, if it was part of like a trilogy and I own the book, it went in the jar. So I might not be reading this one yet, but I'm gonna see what the first book is, and if this is the first book, great. But if it's not the first book in her series, then I'm gonna sub this one for the first book of that series, and then this one will just go back into the jar eventually. Okay, so now the green one. No way. This is crazy. I was gonna make a comment about this, that I hope this, I mean, did happen or didn't. I guess it doesn't matter, but I only have one book by this author, and it's honestly the author I'm currently reading, so it is. I can't believe this happened. Okay, so the book that I got is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. And I just said it's the book I'm currently reading. So I guess this one is gonna happen for sure this month because I'm already currently reading. That's crazy. Obviously you saw that was not planned, but it was cool that that happened. Okay, now it's the orange one. Okay, I know which one this one is. I think this one and the Tabitha one might be kind of longer books, so hopefully I get to them this month. But this one is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. There we go. Can you read that? Yeah, a little bit. Anyways, that's what that is. And then the last one, which I think the green one was the one I had picked if I needed an extra book, but it's the one I'm currently reading, so that was weird. Okay, let's see what this final one is. I'm honestly still nervous. Like, I don't know why, but I'm nervous. But I'm gonna try and stick to this TBR. I'm gonna try really hard to stick to it. I still can't get. Oh shoot! I think I'm ripping it. Hold on. Okay, there. I think I got it. Yep. Okay. Okay, this is a self-help book, and honestly, I don't want to read it. But when I first started reading it, I was like halfway through it, so I might just back up a little bit and then maybe finish it, but we'll see, But this is Get Out of Your Head. And I think I didn't know the full name, so I just put one name, but yeah, the last name, I mean. So yeah, that is my TBR. Let me gather the books and let me really quick check which Tabitha King book is the first book. And then if it's, like I said, if it's Pearl, great. If not, which I don't think it is, then I'm going to sub this one for the first book in the series. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Okay, so I was able to find all of them, thankfully. So the first one I'll share is the Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Ellen. It says Stopping the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts. So I had already read it and I think I have notes in here. Yeah, I do. Okay. So I think I'll just kind of skim through the first, half and then, or like up to where I read, and then I'll continue reading it. And it says it's all in your head. Are your thoughts holding you captive? I'll never be good enough. Other people have better lives than I do. God couldn't really love me. So this book is a Christian, like self-help book. It says in Get Out of Your Head, Jenny inspires and equips us to transform our emotions, our outlook, and even our circumstances by taking control of our thoughts. Our enemy is determined to get in our heads to make us feel helpless, overwhelmed, and incapable of making a difference for the kingdom of God. But when we submit our minds to Christ, the promises and goodness of God flows our lives in remarkable ways. It starts in your head, and from there the possibilities are endless. So we shall see. We shall see if this is good. I think when I was reading it, I was like deep in like the process and like therapy with my therapist, so it was a lot like doing the work with my therapist and then kind of reading about some of this. It was just kind of a lot. So now I'm in a different headspace and I'm excited to see what I'll think about this. And then the next book, so Pearl by Tabitha King is actually like the third book in this series. The first book is actually Caretakers. So I'm going to be starting, instead of Pearl, I'm going to be doing Caretakers, because this is the third book. And then eventually I'm going to end up putting this back into the jar, but this is on the TBR list. It says, by all rights, they never should have known each other. Tori Christopher was a member of the Maine aristocracy. I can't say that word. Reckless and willing and willful, wed to a blue-blooded doctor, and enjoying all the pleasures and privileges of wealth and position. Joe never was of the working class, married to a woman determined to keep him in his place, and with only his rock-hard strength and unbending pride to depend on for dignity. Now in a night filled with all the phantoms of the past and all the shifting shapes of love, Tori and Joe have to strip bare the truth about themselves and their lives, for they share secrets no one else knows. So that's Caretakers by Tabitha King. And then the next book is Dark Matter, which I'm currently that much already through, so that was kind of cool. It says, are you happy with your life? Those are the last words Jason Dustin hears before the kidnapper knocks him unconscious, before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney, surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits, before a man he's never met smiles down at him and says, "Welcome back, my friend." In this world, he's woken up to Jason's life not... In this world, he's woken up to Jason's life is not the one he knows. His wife is not his wife, his son was never born, and Jason is not an ordinary college professor, but a celebrated genius who has achieved something remarkable, something impossible. Is it this life or the other that's the dream? And even if the home he remembers is real, how will Jason make it back to the family he loves? From the author of the best-selling Wayward Pines trilogy, Dark Matter is a mind-bending thriller about choices, paths not taken, and how far we'll go to claim the lives we dream of. Dark Matter. So far, I'm enjoying it. I can already tell you that much. And then the next book is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. And then this one, it's nice and short. It says, Patricia Campbell's life has never felt smaller. Her husband is a workaholic. Her teenage kids have their own lives. Her senile mother-in-law needs constant care, and she's always a step behind on her endless to-do list. The only thing keeping her sane is her book club, a close-knit group of Charleston women united by their love of true crime. Then James Harris walks into her life during the summer of 1993. He makes her feel things she hasn't felt in years, but when children on the other side of town go missing, Patricia wonders if he's connected. Is he the Brad Pitt, a Bundy, or something much worse? I'm excited for this one as well. I've been wanting to read it for a while, just kind of never got around to it. And then the last book, oh wait, that's not the... I'm putting these inside the book, but this one is Pearl, I think. Yeah. This one goes here. Okay, and then the last book is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until Aidan Bishop can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again. Aidan wakes up in the body of a different guest, and some of his hosts are more helpful than others. So, it's a murder mystery. I'm excited for this one too. I've heard mixed reviews, I think, of this one and then the Grady Hendrix one as well. So I'm eager to find out where I'll fall, like, in that spectrum, you know, because I've heard really good things and then really not so good things. So we shall see. But in any case, this is my TBR for February 2024. Let me get them in a nice little stack. I am excited. I'm nervous but excited, and a little bit freaked out, a little bit weirded out that Dark Matter came up in this TBR and I was already reading it. So yeah. Alright, well, I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.